Oh. Customary intro to any of my videos, fixing my hair because I'm realizing in my viewfinder that I look like garbage as usual. But I have an excuse for that today, and it's the reason for filming this brief update because today is Friday, August 29th, and that means that this Sunday, 2 days from now, I should have been running my marathon, my 1 mile per hour marathon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just take a look at my last video I posted. However, as I said in my last video, the caveat was so long as I stay healthy and injury-free. And I am neither of those things right now. So I am having to postpone my marathon. I don't know when I'm gonna do it yet. But essentially what happened was 11 days ago, it was the day after I had ran, so let me backtrack. I ran one of my longest runs on I don't know, a Sunday, I think, about 2 weeks ago. And then 2 days after that, I ran another longer run, not as long as the Sunday run, but still a longer one. And it was simply because I was feeling really good. I listen to my body and I do what feels good in the moment, but I'm learning lessons about running as I go. And one of those lessons, and honestly it's probably this way for all sports, but particularly repetitive motion sports, I don't think that necessarily listening to your body in the moment is the best strategy. I'm starting to realize the value and the importance of sticking to a schedule and following the guidelines. And I think the guideline for running is sort of like, don't increase your mileage more than 10% each week or something like that. I still need to look into it. But I get it now because you can do some damage. I have no regrets, by the way. I'm a firm believer that you don't know what your limits are until you push the limits, right? But anyway, about 11 days ago, it was a rest day for me. I was out in the woods actually filming some clips because I want to, and I'm going to turn this marathon I'm doing into like a small little documentary just for the fun of it. I thought I'd try my hand at trying to produce a fun video for it. So I was in the woods filming some clips and happened to do some jogging between the camera and my car, and I noticed my shin hurt, and I didn't consciously think about it until I was in the car driving home, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, how did I bruise my shin? And I was like feeling it, and it was really sore and tender, and then I got out of the car and I happened to jog to my front door, and that's when I felt the pain too, and then I was like, oh no. So I think what I had was the beginning of some shin splints, and I think what caused it was a sharp increase in mileage, and also when I did my longer runs, I did not probably wear the best shoes. I have a crap ton of Asics shoes because my sister is a cross-country collegiate cross-country coach, and so she gets them for free, and then so she only wears them for like 3 months, which I think is what like the general lifespan of a runner's shoes are, and then she sends them to me because they're otherwise in perfect condition, and I usually only use them for the gym or things where I don't need to have like perfect impact soles to my shoes, right? So I'm just running on a bunch of Asics shoes that have already been worn into the ground, basically. So I think that contributed to it. And I am not going to be messing around with shin splints because she has had shin splints many times, and it led to stress fractures, and it took her like 4 years to heal from all these stress fractures and the reoccurrences and everything, and I just don't have time for that kind of situation. So I took 10 days off. I was going to take 2 weeks off, but I did not feel any pain or tenderness beyond 24 hours after that initial pain I felt. And I was extremely diligent about my therapy. I wore compression stockings. I did not do any impact. I just focused on strength training and cycling, a little bit of elliptical. I foam rolled and stretched and did some strengthening exercises for my calves and shins, and I iced and elevated, and I did all those things. I did all the things that I researched when it came to caring for my shins, and I minimized impact activities. And then 2 days prior to yesterday, so I guess 8 days and 9 days after I noticed the pain, I did a couple 7K walks with my dogs and sort of judged how I felt, and everything felt fine. So yesterday I actually ran for the first time, and to keep myself happy over the past couple weeks, because I have honestly fallen in love with running. I talk a lot about this more on my Instagram, my YouTube channel. I'm just kind of, supplementing my Instagram at this point. But to keep myself happy, I went on some shopping sprees, some massive shopping sprees. I got new shoes. I wear Asics Gel Nimbus shoes, so I got the 22s and wore them yesterday. They feel like a dream. It's the first time I've worn an actual new pair of shoes in probably 20 years. Got myself a Garmin. This is just the Forerunner 45S. It's like their cheapest model right now. The cheapest new model of watch. Because I think they still make the 35s, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Maybe those have been discontinued. But this is such an upgrade from my Fitbit Charge 2. I was really upset with my Fitbit because I knew it wasn't counting my steps accurately. Like, it would count steps when I was washing dishes or folding laundry. So I could be totally stationary, but the act of moving my hand was counting steps. And also I found their calorie counter, not like I use these things for any actual reason, but the total daily energy expenditure calculation that they use for calorie count, I found to be completely unrealistic. Like for the amount of activity I was doing, I was not burning over 3,000 calories a day. That is just not happening. So I feel like the Garmin is a lot more realistic. Yesterday I had an intensely physically active day from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I was farming. We harvested a lot of stuff, and then I had to flatten our beds and de-rock them, and then I was mulching, and oh my God, I was doing so much work on our farm. And then I did my run, and even with all of that said, I topped out at 2,500 calories, according to my watch, for the day. And that sounds much more realistic. Yeah, so I'm really excited. I bought a flip belt, you guys. So I've been watching so many videos on YouTube about like tips for new runners and what I wish I knew in the beginning and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of them have been gear related and sort of like, I wish I had just invested in this to begin with, or I wish I had known about this amazing gadget to begin with. So all these videos, honestly, we're talking about this thing called the flip belt. I don't have it on me. I wish I could show you guys, but it's actually, I take it back. I didn't buy the flip belt version. I bought a UK version called Build and Fitness off of Amazon, but it's the exact same thing as a flip belt, and it is incredible. So all it is just a stretchy piece of fabric that you put on around your waist, and it has a flat pocket that you can stick your keys and your phone and your ID or whatever the heck into, and it's like a modern fanny pack, but there is zero bounce and zero bulk. It's like a little compression band, and it just hugs your body, and it's amazing. I did not feel that I had anything on my body whatsoever, and it was so easy and convenient to be able to take my phone in and out. There were no pockets. Like if I was wearing a jacket and I needed to shed the jacket, I didn't have to worry about finding a place to stick my phone. I didn't have to wear my bra. I didn't have to wear one of those armband things. Those armband things are a pain. Not only do I chafe, but like if I'm wanting to change my music, or like if I was using Runkeeper or whatever, it's so, I'm trying to get it in and out while I'm running. No, I just don't have time for that. And I hate running with anything in my hands. My hands need to be hands-free. So like tip number one, you guys, if you are getting into running or you are a runner and you don't have one of these things, you got to get it. It's amazing. So I had my new shoes, I had my Garmin, I had my flip belt, I got a headlamp because it's starting to get dark here at night. And so I had all these things, and I bought all these things just to keep myself happy, honestly. So I decided to do just a 1 mile run last night to test the waters. So I put all these things on, I tried them all out, and I did the run in my garden. And I learned that the way our property is, there's a bunch of like paths I could take on our property, but a lot of them are underdeveloped and like you can twist your ankle and stuff. So I stuck to just our main like farm garden, and there's a way to do a figure eight, sort of a figure eight around it, and one figure eight was 1/4 kilometer. So about 6 laps was a mile. So that was kind of cool. But I did that because I wanted to be running on the grass to minimize impact as much as possible, just to see how my shin felt today, and it feels great. I didn't have any problems with it during the run or after or anything, so I'm going to finally, after what felt like an eternity, but was only like 10 days, I'm going to ease back into running. So that ties into the marathon update, which is I am not going kamikaze style anymore with this marathon. It was going to be a kamikaze thing because I didn't expect to be running anymore beyond it. But I've really come to love running, and I want to preserve my body for it. So I want to take my time and do this a little smartly. But this morning it was 7 degrees, which is the coldest it's been since, early summer. And it was a rude awakening because it made me realize like winter is coming. Ugh. So anyway, the injury alone would have been enough to cancel this marathon, or not cancel, but postpone it. But compounding things is that my son is sick. He is sick right now, very sick, and also teething and not sleeping. So I was actually up with him every hour last night, and the night prior I was only able to cobble together about 4 hours of sleep, between being up with him for chunks of time, screaming, crying, not able to sleep. Yeah. And it's been this way for like 4 nights now, 4 nights in a row. So I feel wrecked. I do not feel well. I feel hungover, just all those feelings that you get when you're extremely sleep deprived. So this is not the time to be awake and running a marathon for 26 hours. Anyway, so that is my that is my update for my channel. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I will have more updates about when I'm going to reschedule this marathon. But from where I'm seeing it now, I want to do it sometime between the end of September and middle October. I turned 37 on October 12th, which I think is a Friday, or maybe a Monday. I think it straddles a weekend. So I may either do it at the end of September if I feel I'm ready, or I might wait and actually do it as a birthday gift to myself, just to say like the last day of my 36th year or the last weekend in my 36th year, just so that I can say that I ran, or I attempted to run a marathon. Or I might do it the day after and say, hey, I started my 37th year doing it. I don't know. I think that's what I'm going for though, because that would give me some time to actually properly condition my body, because I don't want to hurt myself. I'm really enjoying this. So that's the end of this. Just wanted to put out an update. Stay tuned. It's coming, but it's not coming this weekend. We got to recover a little bit more. So, bye guys.